Hello and welcome to part 1 of our new build, Velociraptors. It's a time machine. Unfortunately, our time machine, we can only go forwards in time. We can't go backwards. So for this build, we're going to have to use poetic license, our imaginations, because nobody knows. Really, nobody knows what colour Velociraptors were. Nobody knows, really, what the plants were like. They have a good idea what the plants were like. They have a good idea what Velociraptors look like in their shape. There's no way of telling what colour they were. There's no way of really telling whether they were feathered or not. Nobody knows. Which is great for us because it gives us all the scope in the world. Now, hopefully, in the chat down there, down there, in the chat, yeah, there, in the chat bit, hopefully, we'll get some paleontologists to join in with the chat, and we'll have a bit of a discussion and debate about, you know, were dinosaurs feathered? What colour were dinosaurs? What about the plants? So I've been messing about with plants, and I've come up with some sort of fern, sort of cross between a palm and a fern sort of tree. You know, we can use our imaginations, and they're really, really simple to build. So the first thing we'll do, we'll put the dinosaurs up there. I've still got 2 to do, and what I'll do is we're going to use the green ones, a couple of green ones in this diorama, and then in the diorama where we're using Triceratops, we'll do them in brown colour. So I've still got a couple left, so I'll show you how I painted those, okay, and how we build them. They're very simple, a really nice kit actually. They go together beautifully, and it's very clever the way Tamiya have done it, where you can mix and match legs and arms and create sort of poses, you know. I mean, that one's my favourite one, you know. Leap and get you in the face sort of thing. Is that going to focus? Yeah, that might focus on it. There we go. So, we can mess about. You can do whatever colours you want. The other thing I did as well is, I've decided that's a female, because she's very drab. Now, in nature, males and females, especially when you look at birds, the male bird is always the one that's brightly coloured. So what I've done with our males is I've given them a yellow throat, focus on it, and the top of his head yellow, to distinguish between the males and the females. We may get paleontologists moaning at us about that, or they may agree with us. We don't know. Just put it in the chat. So, trees. How did we make these? And that's all scratch built, nothing shop bought. And I'll show you how to do it. The larger one is the base for it, or the trunk for it, is a kebab stick. And the smaller ones is a cocktail stick, or a toothpick if you're from the United States. It's the same thing, we just call them different. And then what we want is, now I watched a couple of videos on the YouTubes, which is what you're doing now, on making trees, and there's a very, very good, incredible guy, Boulder Creek Railroad stuff. He's amazing. The things he does. I mean, he made these beautiful palm trees with, and check it out. I'll see if I can put a link in the bottom. I'm still not very good at doing links and things like that. I'm old. I'll do my best. So yeah, Boulder Creek Railroad stuff. Amazing. Absolutely, guys. Dioramas are beautiful. Absolutely incredible. And then you've got Luke's ABS. Luke's fantastic. Mel the Terrain Tuber. They're focusing on things like tabletop gaming miniatures and using Warhammer bases and that. But the principle is still the same. It still transfers over to model making for dioramas. So have a look at other people's stuff. You know, don't just look at mine. For goodness sake, the place is full of fantastic diorama builders. So how do we make the trees? Right. I walked around in that. I'm great. I love walking around our local parks and that and picking things up. These are the cups for acorns. And I thought, oh, I can use them. They're cool. So I picked a few up. And what I did was, I got my pin vise and I put a lot of little holes in it, and that's where the leaves are going to sit. So what we need to do is, this is the tricky part, we need to get that on top of there. So I drilled a hole in it and use a spiky bit. That was tricky, wasn't it? So we'll take him off for a minute. Now this is all-purpose garden wire from Wilkinson's, and it's quite soft in that it's very flexible and you can shape it. So what we need to do is we need to get a length of this. You'd be surprised at how much we need. Actually, we need quite a lot. We're not going to make a wire armature frame because it's too soft for it, but we're going to use this to create the pattern on the trunk. If you look at a palm tree, which is what I've loosely based these on, they've got a series of rings that protrude on the trunk. Now it's quite tricky to get it going. So what you need to do is you need to wrap the wire all the way down and try and get it tight. It's no good if it's too loose. It needs to be. Get it on camera, Dave. Don't be it. Don't be like Dave. Dave's an idiot. Do things on camera. So wind it round and round. You'll be amazed at how simple and easy this is. So get him round. Round you get. It's a bit fiddly. A bit quicker doing it that way. Yeah, it's quicker doing it that way. And when you get to the bottom, leave a bit. Leave a spiky bit at the bottom. That way, when this is all built, that will help us to secure it to our diorama base, because we can push it in there. Clever stuff, see? Now, the next thing you'll need is masking tape. Ordinary, plain, boring masking tape. You don't want the modelling stuff. You don't want the waxed, because we need to paint this, and if it's waxed, the paint won't stick. So just get normal, everyday, cheap as chips masking tape from your Poundland or your Wilkinson's or your B&Q's or your home base. So I'm trying to mention them all, then I can't get moaned at. I can't have retailers moan at me. Say, you didn't say us. Morrison's, we don't sell it. At least not in my Morrison's, where I work. So you're going to start covering it and then really work it in, because you want to be able to see the shape of the wiring underneath. So just build it up, just do it 2 or 3 sort of layers. You don't have to run it down in one lump. And then what we're going to do anyway with this is we're going to coat it in a minute with some PVA glue. A bit like making paper mache sort of idea. We'll just strengthen it and give it some. So let's roll it and roll it and get the wiring so that you can see the pattern through. Really simple to do, really simple, and it looks pretty effective. Ooh, where's my cup of tea? My cup of tea. It's nearly all gone as well. Blimey. I'm nearly out of tea. Let's get wrapping it round, working it, really work it in. Get your fingers in there and give it a good old squidge in so you see all the ribs, all the ribbage. Right. So we've got it looking like that. Now then, what you want to do then is you want to get some PVA, watered down PVA, and just coat it. And then set it aside, stick it in a bobble blue tack or something, and then just leave it. And then what we'll do is, I'll do that in a minute. We'll get onto the leaves. Now the leaves, I watched videos of people making these out of paper and printing off these lovely shapes and then sticking them together. I'm thinking, why are you doing this? There's a far easier and simpler way. Masking tape again. So what we want is you want to get our wire, and you want to start cutting lengths of wire. Now I'm going for about 3 inches for this one. About 3 inches, 3 or 4 inches, doesn't matter, because I'm going to trim them down later anyway probably. So about 3 or 4 inches. You want about, for each tree, you want about 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 9 should do it. Bearing in mind, we've got to get it all on that. So this is a clever part, you'll like this bit. Get a piece of wire. Let's move the sticks out of the way. Now you want a length that's about not quite double the length of the wire. So about that much. Right, so what you do is you get your piece of wire, you put it just under halfway in the middle, like that. It's a flag. And then fold it on itself. Oh, that's going to be a bit squidgy, that one. It doesn't matter. And then what you need to do is you need to press down really hard along the wire. Okay? So you look something like that. Then what you need to do is you get your trusty scissors and you roughly cut out half an oval on each side. Like that. And I turn it over and do the same on the other side. And about half an oval, and then we'll be ready for doing the next stage. So what do we do now? We get our scissors, and at about 45 degrees, cut all the way up and get as many slits as you possibly can all the way up. Now this takes a little bit of time, but it's worth every minute, it's worth every second that it takes you to do this, because the more you get in here, the more fronds you make, and the better the end result is. And then turn it round and do the same again. Let's put a couple of slits in the end. And just work your way around at about 45 degrees, putting little slits all the way up it. And you want to go to the wire. Take it to the wire, all the way up to the wire. Okay? Now that looks pretty boring at the moment, doesn't it? Now wait till you see the clever bit. And it does it all itself. So I'll trim it all the way down. Now the clever bit is, it looks like that, doesn't it? Looks alright. Wait till you put a bend in it. Once you bend it and shape it, and then go whoop. Now that looks like a palm leaf, doesn't it? How simple was that to make? Really simple. Now I've made one and painted one. And that's what it looks like when you painted it. So I'm going to pause this now and I'll get on with making all the rest of these and get them painted. And I'll see you in a minute, in a second, and we'll start to put our tree all together. I'll see you in a minute. It's a time machine. It is. Time machine. Time machine. Time machine. We're going back in time to Jurassic Land. Look, so you're in the canopy. You're right up there. It's too dangerous down here. Right. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go all out on this diorama. We're going to use different techniques. We're going to use lots of different materials. All right. And we're going to combine a lot of different things together to make something that should, hopefully, look really nice. So we're going to use some of our Poundland 2-pot epoxy resin. Not a lot. So I'll mix a bit together. Only a bit. And you need to get a carrier bag and cut out a bit of carrier bag. All will be revealed. What you do, mix your tiny bit of resin together. Okay. I'm just using some ice cream lollipop sticks. Right. And then put it on your carrier bag. Send it right out. Literally. Scrape it out. And do 2 or 3 lines of it. Now we're not going to dye this bit. That's what we want. Just thin, really thin. And then we're going to leave that to dry. And hopefully this should peel off, he says, hopefully. Right, so we've done 4 plain ones. Now we're going to mix up some more with some blue colour in it. A tiny bit, a teeny tiny bit of blue colouring. Literally a teeny bit. So I'm not using huge amounts anyway. 1 drop. All will be revealed. Don't panic. So I'll mix that in. A tiny bit of glue. And we're going to do the same again. So move this up a little bit. Squidge it. And then literally smooth it all the way along. All the way along. And then, what's Tommy coming in? We're going to town in a bit. It's Lad's Day out, it's Thursday. Off to the model shop in a bit. Burger King for lunch. We do like Burger King at lunchtime when we're having Lad's Day out. Right then, so we've got a couple of blue ones and the rest are clear. Now we need to leave that to dry for probably 4 or 5 hours. Right, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that, can't you? Right, we'll put that somewhere nice and flat, and that just needs to dry. And then we'll throw that away. Oh, you're going to love this next bit later. That bit. You'll enjoy this bit. That's coming up soon. Right, so that's that, and that's that. So all our leaves have been painted. We're just waiting for those to dry. Let's see. You're in the canopy now. And then when this is fully dried, we'll assemble a couple of our trees, and then we'll start working on our picture frame. So it's a time machine. So while that's drying, I'm going to nip into town with Tommy. We're going to have a lad's day out in a Burger King. By the time we get back, I will 2-part epoxy resin for our water effect. Now you're interested. I'm going to do a waterfall and a stream, trees, raptors. It's going to look pretty good. I'll see you in a bit. It's a time machine. Ooh, it's a time machine. See, we're back. Right, we've been to town. We pigged out in Burger King, and then did a bit of shopping, bought some bits and pieces, and then on the way home, we nipped into our Chinese stroke Japanese Asian shop. It's just opened up. I found heaven. This stuff. This is amazing. It's grape juice, but it's got peeled grapes in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like so refreshing. If you ever find that, try it. It's awesome stuff. Look at it. Really refreshing. Right, so this is our time to dry now. So what you get, when you peel it off, instant waterfall. And what you do is you put the blue stuff at the back, and then the clear stuff at the front, and you build it up in layers. And we'll be creating a waterfall later on in the diorama. See, it's clever stuff. And then when we were out, we walked through the park and we picked up some more bits from nature. And then we got some bits. What we'll do is we're going to add to them, like this one. This is one of those. I don't know, it's a seed pod from something, some sort of tree. I'm not sure. TK from TK's Models. He's a fantastic bloke. Viking, Dutch bloke, but he's a horticulturist by trade. What's that, TK? What? He'll let us know in the comments, probably, hopefully. It's some sort of seed pod from a tree, but I don't know which one. So what I've done is made some round leaves, didn't I? Just poked them in it. It's going to look like some sort of large-leafed prehistoric bush thing. We can make it up because nobody knows. There's no time machine to go back and have a look. A couple of bits of stick that have been in the oven for 20 minutes. Just kill any nasties and that. So we'll put them in there. And some more of our acorn cups. Right then, so let's put them at one side. And let's carry on with our tree. That's all I'm trying to dry now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my very distressed palette. Oop, got it. Pick up some PVA. And I'll blob the PVA in there. And then squidge the end of the stick in it. Poke him in the hole. He's on that. And then what we're going to do is we want to get our leaves that we made and painted. Dun, dun, dun. Painted leaves. And we want 8 or 9 of them. I think there's 1, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'll do. Oh, I missed one there. Look, I didn't paint the inside of that one. Don't be like Dave. Dave's an idiot. Right then, so we've already drilled with our little pin vise the holes for them, so we'll trim them down a little bit now because they're far too long. Trim them down a bit. And then put them in the holes. A nice long one bending down. That's a bit long, that one. We'll trim that one down a bit. That's a bit long as well. Trim him off. holes. That one in the middle. That's a big one. That one. Oh, that's a bit long, that one for that position. Oh, where'd that go? I'll find it later with my bare feet and it stabs me in the foot. That's not big enough. Just give him a bit of a twist with the old blade. A new one. Yeah, fits now. And that one's a bit long as well. I'll bring that off. Oh, Tommy's making a noise. He's probably going to come in a second. Although the light's on. You might see the light, hopefully. I think, oh, that's recording. Right. So we've got them in position. What I'm going to do then is, on top of super glue on, work its way in that. And then what we want is some moss. This is from a company called Java Scenics. It's mainly for railroads and things like that, but it's very good for what we want. What we'll do, we'll poke him in the PVA as well. In the PVA. And then just poke him in the middle. And that'll look like all the little fibres and gungy stuff all in the middle. And now we have created some form of fern tree. I don't worry about bits of PVA on it because it will dry clear. Just wedge it all in. Firm it in. Like that. In and down. In between fronds. Branch type things. And there we go. That's how easy it was. Simple, isn't it? And it looks really cool. So we'll stick that in the blue tack with the others. And if we put that as a clump together on the diorama next to our flowing stream, I think that won't look so bad. Straighten over a little bit like that. What do you think? It's not bad for a bit of kebab sticks, toothpick cocktail sticks and some masking tape and a bit of paint, is it? It's not bad at all. Right then, so the next thing we're going to do involves hot burning stuff. So this is where I want you to be slightly careful. I don't want you to be slightly careful, I want you to be very careful. Hot glue guns. Hot glue guns are great tools, but as the name implies, this stuff gets hot. Don't stick your finger in it when you first pull it out of the thing. It will stick to your finger and it will burn. So safety first. Be very careful using hot glue guns. Right, so we'll put him on to warm up. And what are we going to do? Well, we're actually going to build some stonework, some rock work. Some rock work, so we can start creating our waterfall. So let's put that in the spray booth. I don't want to metal. There's a plastic stand that clips to it. I don't know where it's gone. I think it's pinged off and I had it in storage. Right, so our picture frame. Now I've gone along and taken the glass out, disposed of the glass safely, and masked it so we can keep it clean. So all I've done to that. So when our hot glue gun melts up, warms up, we'll start. Now this stuff started off life as a placemat, as a slate placemat, cost £1. The infamous Poundland shop. And all I did was I put it in one of them very tough bag for lives and then beat it to death with a hammer and broke it all up. So we've got larger bits and we've got lots of smaller bits. And using that hot glue gun and our ever faithful all-purpose war filler. start to build at this end. So we'll start at this end, we'll build a waterfall feature, and we'll have a stream running away, and then we'll have a plant, and we'll wait for our Velociraptors to sit in there. I think, oh, this is a cool home. I like this place to live. So we'll wait for that to heat up. While we're waiting for that to heat up, I'll show you how I did this, shall I? Quickly. What we did was we got our, whatever it is that TK is probably going to put in the comments down there somewhere. In the comment bit down there. TK is going to come and tell us what sort of tree that's from. What we've done is the same principle as we did with these leaves, only we did them slightly more rounded, and we didn't split them, and then just painted them green and poked them in the seed pod. We stick that somewhere like that. We've got our waterfall up here, we'll have the palm trees this end, some more bits of fauna around, and the river, a little stream, and we should be looking pretty good. So, ever so simple though, use the same technique as we did for those leaves. Wire, masking tape, fold it over, cut it to shape and paint it. So simple and yet so effective. For the next diorama we're going to do slightly bigger, chunkier, using wooden dowels for the trunks. So I actually went and bought today, I bought the widest masking tape I could find, which is that one, and had a bit of a practice, and it produces extremely large leaves. So bigger trees out at the edge of the forest, when we do the Triceratops and Velociraptor diorama, we'll be doing bigger chunkier trees as well as little skinny ones. So, is that warm yet? Is that started yet? Yeah, look at that. Right, so I'll stick some there like that. And what a nice little base sort of area. Fit, quite. We'll find some bits to fit, stick them in there. And all we're going to do is we're going to start building up two sort of walls at the top. Let's look there on that one. Yeah, that'll do us. Let's redo that one. Scrape that off. See, I burn myself, then you don't have to. Ooh, bit of wire. I don't want that either. Get off. Making a mess already. Right, so we'll squeeze that on there. That on there. Just want some. Start building up quite a height. And we want it to be very irregular. I don't want it neat and spectacularly neat or anything like that. Start building it up, get some height in there. Layers and layers. There. Now we want an open bit in the middle. The water sort of cascade down. Where's my next glue stick? On my bench already, I know I've got some organised somewhere. big flat ones for later, for the top. What we can find we can do later on is we can fill all these little gaps up with little plants and bits and bobs and make it look all busy. Right, let's start building the top of our waterfall bit. That'll work. Put some more that side. Small bit there. We'll start building our flat area. We need to make an area at the top for like the reservoir. We don't a huge amount of depth, so we want to make a banking on this side and banking on the other side and around the back. Right, oh yeah, that'll do us like that. Now we want a little bit of depth because we want to put gravel and some pebbles or a bit of sand in there, so that this looks like it's a continuation of the river. You won't just have a waterfall appearing out of nowhere, would you? So I want to try and make it look somewhat realistic. There. Don't worry about bits of glue on that. They'll peel off. You can actually burn them off, but I wouldn't recommend you do that. Don't play with fire. No, don't like that bit. Start capping this edge off, make it look a bit neater now. There. There. Fill in little ledges. There. That's getting quite heavy now. Pull all that off. There for a second now then. That'll then give us our reservoir at the top. What we'll have to do is we'll have to make a bit of a dam using blue tack, and then we can pour resin in the top and form the header lake, the header stream, should I say. and then we can work out where we're going this side, and then build up with the filler our beach sort of area on the side of this stream. So let's put some blue tack in there. Where we put it? Got loads of it dotted about. We found some. Found some. Not really much to sort my bench out. Have a tidy up. Filthy bit. I'm a filthy person. Right. I'll stop doing that. Silly Father Ted Irish accent. Stick it out pointy a bit. Right, so make a bit of a dam with the blue tack. And then what we're going to do is we'll put some ground in that, some sort of tiny bits as well. Tiny bits. Loads and loads and loads of tiny bits. We're going to be using them in the bottom of the stream later on. But for now, what we want to do is we're going to get some PVA, some pivot, squidge him in there. Don't bother with paint bushes, it's not painting. With a stick. And what we're going to do is we want to cover the header stream with PVA. And then get our bird sand. Sprinkle some in there. You don't want a lot, just a bit. And again, get a cocktail stick. Just move it about. Get it all in there. That's the box. And just poke it around. Now what you want to do now, get some tiny bits of our slate. Some very tiny bits. Even tinier than that. Down the bottom. Got some slate in there. And then we can put another bit of PVA on it. Just a bit. Just on the box, and that'll help bed them in, and it will dry clear. It's the beauty of PVA. It dries clear. Switch it back, get the box in there. Put some PVA in that bit. And it's literally all you have to do. And then we'll leave that to dry now, that bit. Let me show you what I mean. There we go. All that PVA that's on the top of them, that slate, will dry. It will dry clear. And then all you need to do is just tiny little bits and pieces. Now what we'll do later, in a bit, is things like this ledge here. We'll put some of the filler on it, and then we'll put some plants and things like that hanging down, some creepers and all sorts of things, and then we'll make our waterfall. Now, hot glue gun's still hot, so what we want to do now is we want to make the base of our stream, we'll make like a pool area. Let's get some hot glue on it. Let's make that rock into there. There's some hot glue on it. Rock into there. There. Oh, that was up. Put that there. All down. Right. In there. These short sticks don't last very long. Further. 100mm longer ones for sure. Right, so that's going to give us the bed of our stream. So this is obviously some sort of like slaty area, because we've done the, I think it's slate. You're not going to see a lot of this by the time we get the sand on it. The bed of the stream. I'm not going to see much of this anyway, so. And then we'll make a banking when we come to use the filler. Make some sort of little shelved beach effect. That's quite a lot of slate we've used on that. It's going to be a very heavy diorama. Don't drop it on your toes. What we do is we could make the start of the beach bit. We'll give it a bit of a lip. We want some depth to it, but we don't want a huge amount, do we? So that bit there, that's going to be our stream and the collection pool from the waterfall. Don't like that bit there. A bit smaller bit. That's better. Right then. Okay, back in there. Right. Now what we could do. That'll be dry in minutes. Don't take long to cool off and dry. I'm just playing the next doors, kids. Sorry about the noise. Right, I'm gonna have some grape juice. Oh, it's really nice. Right, so let's leave that to dry. And through the magic of our time machine, I'll see you in a bit, and then we'll get on with building up this bit, and then getting the stream bed in. Right. So I'll see you in a bit. See you in a second. It's a time machine. Time machine. We're going back in time. Look, right. What I've done is I've positioned some of our trees that we made, and some of the Java Scenics moss, lichen stuff. We want to try and create the impression that this is a dense, lush jungle. But we don't want to cover up the fact that we've got a waterfall here. We want to be able to see it, and we need to be able to see our raptors. So the secret is you make the background look really lush and the foreground not as cluttered, so you can still see you've got a view to look at. So our raptors are going to be by the side of the stream, basically. And we're just going to put some low level plants in this area so you can still see. You see what I mean? You've got to find an angle that you want to look at it at. And you put it in the shelf, put it that way or that way, so you're looking at it face on, so you're looking at the waterfall. It's entirely up to you. It's getting into your head which way you want to present it, where you want to be looking at it, you know what I mean, or other people to be looking at it. It's forcing the perspective sort of way. When you're not using a forced perspective, which is a big object and a smaller object, it's about to create illusion of depth. We want to create the illusion of a lush forest, but you still want to be able to see. You with it? Also, what I did as well, this stuff. Remember this stuff from the beginning? So, oh, I wonder what it looks like. So I put it out into a glass. You actually get 5 or 6 fizzy. You actually get 5 or 6 peeled grapes in it. It's gorgeous, and it's so refreshing. Avocado, if you ever find this stuff, seriously, unless you're allergic to grapes, if you're allergic to grapes, don't try this at home. Good stuff. Definitely be buying that again. Right, so what we're going to do, let's get the filler down. We want to create 2 bankings, and then we'll call it quits for today. We'll leave, because we're going to have to leave that for overnight or at least 24 hours to properly dry. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll pick up some more leaves. I'll make you've seen how I make the leaves, and we'll make some sort of lower level ground cover plants. Maybe find a way for stick a bit of our stick of rock in. No, stick of rock, stick of wood. It's got I'm from Morecambe, see. We have rock in Morecambe, sticks of rock. Something like that. We'll just mess around and find a place to put things. So let me get all messy now. The beauty of this is we don't want a lot today. Just want to start to build up the area where we're going to. Now don't worry about the fact that I've masked off and you're never going to get the masking off. What we'll do later on is we'll trim around that, and we'll still have a perfectly clean picture frame. So let's put some more of that in there. Oh, yeah, I've got to turn it around. And then we'll do the same on this side. Get it in there. Switch it in. My kids, Pippa roof next door, telling the kids off. They've been playing with water. I'm not surprised, it's over 30 degrees. And if you can't play with the hose pipe and drown each other when it's 30 degrees and gorgeous sunshine outside, when can you? Mothers, they don't understand. They just don't understand what it's like to have fun. Your mum the same? If you come and dripping wet because your mate squirted you with the hose pipe and it's 30 degrees outside, what's your mum? They do. Some other thing. Your dad will say, well, did you squirt him back? Yeah. Good lad. Oh, there we go. Right then. So, when that's dry tomorrow, we'll paint that and we'll stick all the ground cover in. And hopefully, we'll get to, well, we will actually get to painting the raptor tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, it's about the raptors really, isn't it? Actually, it's not, it's a combination of everything. Right, so there's our stream done. Let me get a baby wipe. Oh! Do you know what we're going to do next? We're going to do another animal next. Do you remember on my introduction video, I showed you dog meat on Fallout 4? And I managed to get hold of another one. Another Alsatian from my pet dog range. Here he is. So next, no, that's not him. That's the other. That's the one we're going to turn into a sort of zombified, mutated dog in Fallout. Somewhat under there, I've got another dog mate. And what we'll do is we'll show you how to turn a toy dog mate into dog meat. So that'll be our next build. Won't take long. It's only a couple of. It's under there somewhere. It's in the stash. Right then. So on that note, we'll finish the raptors. We'll do dog meat, and then we may get onto the triceratops, and we may get on something else. You never know. So that's how far we got. That's our work in progress so far. We've got a bit of a lush jungle going on. And then next time we'll paint this, we'll get the waterfall in, and all the resin, paint the raptor, and add it all together. So, have fun, go and build a model, go and join in, go and do something, play your Xbox, play your PlayStation, play your PC, go outside, have an adventure, meet new people, do exciting things. Always, always, tell somebody where you're going and what time. What time what? What time are you going to be on? See you later. It's a time machine.